season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate created leagues, and what if tournaments. It's Coffee Cup Games with the coach, DKM. Hey, this is Coach DK as we are continuing our season replay of the year 1900. Today we're in the American League where we have the Minneapolis Millers going against the Kansas City Blues. As discussed previously, the American League did form under the leadership of Van Johnson in the year 1900. They did not become an official part of the Major League or were considered equal with the National League until the year 1901. So this year they were kind of like a hyped up minor league, a minor major league, whatever you want to call it. But they did exist in the year 1900, so we did include them in the replay, and the reason is because the game that we're using, board and dice game, even though we're using a computerized version, but the board game Strat-O-Matic does include them in the replay. And so we thought it'd be fun just to go ahead and do this season as well. So as you can tell, the Millers are 43-80. They are struggling. They did come originally in last place. They are obviously in last place with that kind of record. The Blues originally came in 6th. They are currently also in 6th, but they are just slightly under 500. But as you can tell by the total number of games, we are in 120 plus. So we're 3/4 of the way through the season. We are in August, which means we are getting ready for playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
That's right. In our format, in our replay, we do take the top 8 teams from each league. In both the American League and the National League, both leagues have 8 teams, so every team will make the playoffs, and we will that's going to be the same consistent no matter how many teams there are in each league, but we will always take 8 teams just so it's a little bit easier to keep consistent statistics when we talk about playoff picture and things like that as we do future replays. But let's take a quick look at the standings. As mentioned earlier, the Blues are in 6th place. They do have a slightly better record at 48.3% of their games they've won. Originally, they were at 46.3, and you can tell that their games behind is closer than it was originally. The Millers were obviously the worst team in the American League, winning 38% of their games. They are doing worse at 35%. But when it comes to playoffs, you see that Chicago's still holding on to a very slim lead over the Cleveland Babes, who are only 2.5 games out. The Hoosiers, the Wolverines, and the Creams are kind of like in a mix with the Blues not too far behind, and then there seems to be a little bit of a gap between Buffalo and Minneapolis. But in the American League, you can kind of tell, like, except for the Hoosiers and the Wolverines, there seems to be a little bit of a break between each one, a few games. So anything can happen, obviously, in the American League, particularly in the top 6. But it does look like 7 and 8 might end up being where they are. In the National League, we do see Brooklyn still holding on, still leading the league. They have a 6.5 game, which seems to be pretty consistent over the last month. Though it had gone down a little bit, it had been up a little bit. 6.5 seems to be pretty consistent for them. But they have a 6.5 game lead over Boston. Boston and St. Louis are really vying for that number 2 spot. And then you see 4 teams vying for 4 through 7, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New York, all in a very, very close race. But then you have the Red Stockings, obviously, at the very, very back. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for the Millers. We have Nichols at second base. Leading off, we have Nance at third. He's been hot lately, hitting .359. He'll be playing third. Ward in the first baseman, also hitting well, is hitting .333 with 12 RBIs in his last week and a half. He'll be playing first. Harvey, the right fielder, will be batting fourth. Wilmot, the center fielder, has been struggling. He's hitting only .135 in the last 10 games. He'll be playing center field. Fisher, the catcher, will be batting 6th. Smith, the shortstop, batting 7th. Lowley, the left fielder, batting 8th. And on the mound will be Red Errett. He has 32 starts. He has 12-15 record with a 4.18 ERA. Even though I'd say his ERA is very respectable, and I would say his win-loss record is not horrible. He is by far the best pitcher when it comes to the Millers. So they have their ace on the mound, and they're going to be going against the team that we will be managing, the Kansas City Blues. For us, we have leading off the center fielder Hemphill, who has been struggling. He's hitting only 200 in his last 10 games. We have in left field O'Brien batting in the number 2 spot. He's hitting 382 in the last 10 games. Obviously, been the hottest hitter for the Blues. Gansel, the first baseman, will be batting third. Dungan, the right fielder, will be batting fourth. Klingman will be playing short today, batting fifth. Wilson, the catcher, batting sixth. Coughlin will be playing third, batting seventh. Schaefer batting eighth, playing second. And on the mound for us will be Gear. He has 23 starts. He has a 17-4 record with a 2.41 ERA. Obviously, one of the best in the American League so far this year. And you can tell in the last 10 games, or last 10 days, he has been even better, as he has a 1.5 ERA in his last 10 days, as he has pitched 18 innings with only 3 earned runs. So let's get ready to jump in the action. But before we do, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and always enjoy reading what you guys have to say. Appreciate the support that you guys give. And so let's get ready to jump into the action. All right, so it is a night game at Exposition Park in Kansas City. We don't have a lot of night games. I mean, we set it for 25% of the games. Always just find it. I know a lot of these games weren't at night, but I always enjoy seeing the field at nighttime. It is obviously good for hitters, not good for power hitters. We're using the Strat-O-Matic field park ratings. I would have said, probably looks like, just looking at the park, that left field would have been obviously much harder to get home runs versus right field, as left field was pretty far out. But let's get ready and jumping into the action. We got Gear on the mound, and he's going to be pitching to Nichols, the leadoff man. Nichols is going to draw a walk. Luckily for us, Gear has a really good arm, but now Nance is going to be up. He's going to hit a fly ball to right field to Dungan, and it looks like it is a single, and so Nichols takes third as Dungan's range comes back and kills us. And now Worden, the number 3 hitter, is up. He's hitting 299 for the year. He's going to hit a double over center fielder, and it looks like they get 1 run as Worden and Nance both advance, but Nance is not able to get home. Harvey's up. He needs a 1 to 10. He pulls a 9 for a single, adding another run so far. There's been 3 hits. And a walk against Gear, and still no outs. Wilmot is up. He's going to hit a single. That is 4 hits in a row. This is not looking good early. Geez, a 1 to 16 Fisher needs, and he gets a 15. Another run, scores 4 runs in the beginning, and finally Smith lines out to Schaefer for the first out. Lowley's going to be up. He's going to hit a fly ball to center field. We really need some help from our defense. And it looks like Hemphill apparently juggles the ball, but does end up reeling it in. So that's going to be out number 2. And now the pitcher, Red Arid, is up. He needs a 1 to 16. He's going to hit a 1 to 15. That should... Oh, no, they're going to send their runner. And that will be 5 runs in the first. Nichols, who led off, is now back up. They went all the way around the batting order. Horrible start for us. And so we are down 5-0. We haven't even gotten to a pitch yet. Red Arid's now able to take the mound for the Millers with a very comfortable lead. Hempfield is going to ground out to short. That'll be 1 away for us. O'Brien's going to ground out to second. Ganzel's going to be up, and he has a chance for a home run, and it's not even going to be close. Normally, I probably would have taken Gear out here, but he does seem to be our best pitcher, and we are going against the Millers, who tend to explode defensively, don't have the best pitching, so I just, for some reason, believe we might still have a shot. There's plenty of baseball left. Nance grounds out, Warden is going to hit a ground ball. And unfortunately, that's going to be an error on Schaefer. Harvey's up. He's going to hit a ground ball for a fielder's choice. And now Wilmot's going to be up, and he needs a 1-6 for a triple. He gets an 8, so that will be a double. So putting runners on second and third. Luckily for us, Fisher lines out to end the inning. So we're going into the bottom of the second. Dungan is up. He needs a 1-11 for a double. He is going to get the 1. So Sam Dungan gets our first hit. And now Fisher's up. Klingman is up. Ooh, a 1-12. No outs. Let's just play it safe here. Klingman singles, advancing him. We're going to go ahead and try to steal second here, obviously. We are not going to attempt to steal since you didn't get a good lead here. I was trying to see if we had the cursor, which I didn't see. Yeah, I'm still not seeing the cursor. All right, well, we're just going to keep on continuing. Next up is Wilson, our catcher. So with no outs, he needs a 1-2 for a triple. He's going to just get a simple single. We are going to try to see if we can take advantage of this. And he does get a good lead, and so he is going to steal. So we get 1 run back, runners on second and third with 0 outs. Even though Eric is by far their best pitcher, I would not say he is. Just based on the team, I think we should be all right. So Coughlin's going to hit a ground ball to third. They're going to make the play, but the runner does score, getting us back to 5-2. So this could on the verge of a very good comeback. So have a runner on third. Schaefer's up. He is going to line out the short for 2 down. Gear, who obviously wants to make up for his horrible first inning, unfortunately is going to fly out, ending the inning. So we go into the top of the third. Smith is up. He's going to hit a fly ball to left field. That will be 1 away. Next up will be the left fielder, Lally. He is hitting .283 this year. He's going to hit a fly ball. Looks like the right field liner. Dungan cannot bring it in. He actually can't get there, and then he makes the air. So Lally is going to get a hit and then advance to third on the air. And then, of course, the pitcher gets a single, adding 1 more run to their lead. So they are at the top of the order with Nichols. He's going to hit a fly ball to left. And bring up Nance, who's 1 for 2, has scored a run. He is going to ground out into a 5-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. So top of the order for us, Hemphill, who's hitting .316 this year, needs a 1. And unfortunately, he gets a 5, but that is going to be good enough for a triple. Will they give us a chance for a in the park? No. So good leadoff triple. I'm trying to figure out because we just need runs. This is a tough one. O'Brien is hitting .354 this year. He has been on fire, so we're going to let him hit. And it looks like that was a bad decision. And she is 0 for 1. Ganzel is going to be up. Try to see what our percentage for the suicide squeeze is. I like those odds. We're going to try to lay down a bunt, and he does not. Dungan's up, and he's going to strike out. So after a triple, Eric gets 2 strikeouts. That is Just very frustrating. So 2 strikeouts and a blotched bunt. So Warden's going to be up. He's going to hit a ground ball to short. Harvey's up. He is going to hit a fly ball to center field. Hemphill has to make a play. He does not. It's going to be a base hit with another error from our outfield. That is our 3rd error of the game, allowing Harvey to get to second. Wilmot, who is 2 for 2 with a single and a double, is going to now get his 3rd hit of the game. Adding another runner, it is now 7-2. Fisher's up. He needs a 1-16. He is going to single. Runners on first and second. Smith is up. It is a pass ball. Bruh. Ground ball up the middle, shortstop. So Klingman has to make a play. He does not have good range. He is not a good fielder. We brought him in for his hit. And unfortunately, that is going to be a single. So 9-2. There's 2 runs scored, and we are going to end the inning on a double play, but serious damage being done. Wow. It is 9-2. Klingman, who is 1 for 1, has a single, is now going to pop out. Wilson, our catcher, is up. He's going to hit a fly ball to center field. And it looks like it's a pretty routine fly for Wilmot, so that will be 2 away. Coughlin's going to be up. He's going to hit a fly ball to right field. And Harvey's going to have to make a play. And he unfortunately drops it, keeping the inning alive. See if he can take advantage of it. Schaefer's up. And he is unfortunately going to pop out to end the inning. This will be Gear's last inning, I would imagine, as I think he might be leading us off in the bottom of the 5th. But Gear just has not had a good game. He does get it first out to get Eric to fly to right, and then he gets Nichols, the leadoff man, to get out, and then he does end the game, possibly his game, with a strikeout. Gear is up. He's actually a pretty good hitter, so we might just go ahead and let him hit. We don't think we need a pinch hitter. But unfortunately, not only has he been trash on the mound, he has been trash at the bat. Hemphill's up. He's going to lead us off or get the bat started with a single. So we do have a runner on first, but it's 1 out. We just need to try to start pecking away. Hemphill takes second, allowing O'Brien, who's 0 for 2, who has been one of our better hitters recently. He's going to hit a ground ball to Nichols at second, and Nichols is going to throw it away, so it will be a single. Run is going to score. O'Brien gets the second. We get a run back. Ganzel is up. He needs a 1-14. He's going to get a 1-12. We are going to... we're going to send him. And Harvey throws the ball away for an error. So the run scores. Ganzel is on third. We could definitely use a run here. Dungan is up. He has a double and a strikeout. We need another hit. And unfortunately, strikeout. Klingman's up now. Opportunity for clutch. He is not a clutch hitter. Alright, so we decided to keep Klingman in the game. And so let's go ahead and see what happens. He is 1 for 2. He was originally a 310 hitter. He's hitting 247, so struggling this year. Does have 11 RBIs versus his 16, but we need a hit here or an error by the other team. And unfortunately, Klingman didn't even have a chance where the clutch value came into effect, which were those late greens. He's going to fly out to the left. And that will end the inning. So Gear is going to stay in. Maybe we'll get one more inning. He's going to go against Worden, who is 1 for 3, has a double, and Worden's going to line out. Harvey's up. He's going to hit a ground ball to short. Klingman, not known for his defense, can't get the ball there in time. And that will be an infield single for Harvey. So Wilmot, who is 3 for 3. Good gracious, he's having a great game. 2 RBIs. He's not going to hit a ball to first. And this will be a inning-ending double play. So still down 5, trying to get back into it. We need a couple runs here before we get into those final 3 innings. So Wilson's going to be up. He's going to lead us off with a single. Obviously, that makes us feel good there. We're going to see if he can steal second. He cannot get a good lead. So Coughlin is up. He's 263 originally and 272 this year. Unfortunately, he's going to fly out to Lally and left. That will be 1 down. Schaefer's going to be up. He also is going to fly out the left. And now Gear is up. He has a chance for home, and unfortunately, he needs a 1-5 for a home run. It's just going to be a long fly ball that Wilmot's going to be able to bring in. And that will be the end of 6 innings. As you can tell, Minneapolis has 9 runs on 14 hits. They've committed 3 errors. Kansas City, us, has 4 runs on 8 hits, and we've committed 3 errors. And so, unfortunately, we have not been doing well as we get ready to enter the final 3 innings. But as you know, it is now time for the player profile. And so let's see who we got today. And today's profile is going to be on the player Sam Dungan. Probably a player most of you have not heard of. One of the most prolific hitters of the 1890s, particularly in Detroit. So Sam Dungan grew up in California. He began his professional career in 1890, but prior to that, he attended Michigan State Normal School, probably a school you never heard of, but eventually became called Eastern Michigan University. So he was very well known in the Michigan area, but in 1890 he started his professional career. He started out in California in the Western League, and then 1891 he went to Milwaukee and Omaha. 1892 he went to the National League where he played in Chicago for Cap Anson. He hit in the 280s, and then next year, 1893, he hit 297. He had the second most hits on the team. 1894, though, he was not getting a lot of playing time, so he was traded to Detroit, which is obviously going back home in the sense of his college career. And so the fans were extremely ecstatic to have him back. He got a lot of cheers his first game. A lot of signs were posted in his first at bat with Detroit. He ended up hitting an in-the-park home run, which was awesome. And so he became a legend in Detroit. He was such a good hitter. Detroit at that time was in the Western League. So he was the best hitter in the Western League during his 6 years that he spent there. He led the team in hitting in 1894, where he hit 447. 1895, he hit 424. He led the team again in 1897, hitting 372. 1898, he hit 325. And in 1899, he hit 347. So he led the team in hitting for Detroit every year except for 1896. He did win the batting title in 1899 in the Western League, and he finished second in 94 and 95 when he hit 447 and 424. And he was in top 10 on the other years. Usually not considered a great defensive outfielder. He was mainly known for his bat. But probably the biggest thing that Sam Dungan is known for, there's two things. Number one, he was by far the best hitter in the 1890s for the Western League, so he was an incredibly gifted hitter. Had good speed, was able to get inside the park home runs as well as clearing the fence. But so he was, first thing is incredible skill at the plate, particularly in the Western League and in Detroit. Played 6 years there, probably the best hitter throughout his 6 years in the Western League. But the other thing that happened is Harry Steinfeld, the catcher for Detroit, kept on getting hit in the shins. And so Sam Dungan gave him some football shin pads to be able to use. And this became the start of the first catcher using shin guards behind the plate. Usually Roger Bresnahan is given credit for that, but it was actually Sam Dungan who actually was the one who introduced this to help his teammate, the catcher Harry Steinfeld. So Sam Dungan is often credited with the first idea or the player who initiated shin guards for catchers. But he finished his career in Detroit in 1899. He was then sent back briefly to Chicago, just was there for a couple of games, and then he was traded to the Kansas City Blues, where he spent the remainder of the season. Ironically, he was traded for John Ganzel. You see John Ganzel and Dungan are batting in the 3 and 4 spot in this game. So Ganzel did play for both Detroit and for Chicago, as did Dungan. So they are going to be in both teams. So Dungan went with to Kansas City with Bill File and Bill Everett for John Ganzel. At this point, Dungan was in his mid-30s, and so he was getting ready to wrap up his career. But in his first year here with Kansas City, he did hit 350. Some sources say it was 337, but it was the best average in the American League with at least 50 games played. So he is remembered as the first American League batting champion. In 1901, the Kansas City Blues become the Washington Senators. Dungan plays about 40 games and hits 320 in the first official American League season. It was the 10th highest in the American League. So Dungan is the player of the player profile, player that we focus on today. One of the best hitters ever to come out of the Western League. One of the best hitters in the 1890s. One of the best hitters in the beginning of the American League, even though he was in his mid-30s. Also a guy who initiated catchers wearing shin guards as he tried to help out his teammate, giving him football shin guards, which I didn't know were a thing as a non-football player. And then that's Sam Dungan, the great outfielder for Detroit. In this case, now playing for Kansas City. And so now you know. And as G.I. Joe says, knowing is half the battle, and he is a real American hero. So Sam Dungan. And back to the action as we are entering the 7th inning. As mentioned, it is 9-4. Minneapolis is just whooping our butts after an incredibly high-powered first inning where they scored 5 runs. We tried to come back in the second. They added a run in the third. They added a whole bunch more in the fourth, getting them to their 9 runs. We did knock off 2 in the fifth. So entering the last 3 innings, we obviously need a huge comeback. Gear has struggled this entire game, but we have left him in just because he is by far our best pitcher. And so we're going to let him probably finish out another inning or so. He's going against Fisher, the catcher. So Fisher is going to ground out back to Gear. That is going to be a 1-3 easy ground out. 1 down. Next up is Smith. He's going to line out to Klingman at short. That will be 2 away. And now Lally, who's 1 for 3, is going to be up, and he's going to line out to Schaefer at second. So a 1-2-3 inning. Obviously something that we needed. For what Major League club did Harmon Killebrew hit his final home run? I would not have known that. I hit it a little bit too quick. But it was the Kansas City Royals. So up for us now is Hemphill. He has a triple and a single in his last 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 3 for the afternoon or for the evening. So our leadoff man's up. He has a chance for a double and unfortunately it's going to be a single, but we will take it. He's got, obviously, as our leadoff man, good speed on the bases. We're going to try to see if we can get a good steal here. He does not. We are not going to send him. We have O'Brien up. O'Brien is hitting .354 in the season. We're going to let him swing away. He's going to hit a fly ball to Lally, who is their best outfielder. And luckily for us, Lally drops it. And it looks like the pitcher might have gotten hurt, but nope, he seems to be okay. But that error is going to put runners on second and third, so a chance for some late inning rallies. Ganzel is up, who we talked about briefly when we're doing the player profile with when we're talking about Dungan, but let's see what Ganzel can do. He already has an RBI, and it's going to be a pass ball, so we get a run there. We'll take that. Ganzel could bunt here to get us closer, but with no outs, we're not going to give away an out. It's another pass ball. Fisher lets two of them go by him. We get 2 free runs. We are now within 3 runs. And nice little comeback here. Still no outs in the top of the 7th. We need a 1-10 for it, and unfortunately, Ganzel is going to get out. Dungan is up. He is hitting .347 for the year. He is 1 for 2. Unfortunately, he has struck out twice in this game, so we need him to do something here. And he's not going to strike out, but unfortunately, he is going to fly out to right field. That will be 2 away. And now Klingman, who is also 1 for 3, hitting lousy 244, is going to step up, and he's going to hit a single. We're going to try to steal, see if we can get another run here. We definitely don't want to try to steal when he's at 1 for 4. But Wilson is up. He is 2 for 3, hitting .270 in the season. He's going to get his 3rd hit of the game. I really want to put him in the scoring position, but Coughlin's up. He's hitting .271. He is 0 for 3 today. We're going to still let him hit, and unfortunately, he is going to pop out, ending the rally. So another 2-inning scoring inning for us, bringing the score to 9-6. Gear is still on the mound. He's going to be going against his opposing pitcher, Eric. Luckily for us, he gets out. Eric was 2 for 3 already. Nichols, who's 0 for 3, is up. He needs a 1-8, and he gets the 8. That'll be a single, so a man on with 1 out. And now Nance is up. He's going to hit a single to right, allowing Nichols to go to third. They're in the heart of their lineup. Worden is up. We need an out. He is going to hit a ground ball. We are going to get the easy out at first, but they do add a run, so they get their lead back up to 4 runs. Harvey is up. He is 3 for 4. He has been incredible today with 3 singles. He's going to hit a fly ball to Hemphill. Hemphill needs to make the play, and he does, ending the inning. So we're entering the bottom of the 8th. We continue to make efforts to get back into this. Unfortunately, we have Schaefer up, who is already 0 for 3. He is not going to be 0 for 4. Aird is up. He is 0 for 3, but he has hit .329 this year. He has 2 home runs, 44 RBIs. He might be leading our team in RBIs. So we're going to let him swing away, even though he's been 0 for 3 today. He is going to get a pitcher's single, so that will put him on first base. See what kind of speed he has. We are going to try to get a lead here. He does not get it. So we have Hemphill up, our leadoff man. He is 3 for 4, hitting .320 for the season. He needs the 1-16. He gets the 9. And that's going to put runners at first and second. O'Brien is up. Last at bat, he got a 2-base error. He is hitting .353 for the season. We got to let him hit, and it has not worked out for us yet today when we've given him that opportunity. Smith's going to make the fielder's choice, getting the runner at second. So this is going to allow us to have runners on the corners. We got to try to see if we can get something going here. We're going to try to steal second. Cannot get it. Oof. And Ganzel is up, who is horrible in the clutch. But a 1 looks good, a 2 looks good, and a pitch 6 looks good. So we need a 1, 2, or a 6. We get the 1. It is going to be a single. Ganzel is going to knock in the RBI. And so we now have another run, get it back to 3. Ganzel is going to try to steal. Ooh. So 1 to 10. We went for the steal. It worked out. We took a high risk. And now the player that we profiled, Sam Dungan, is up. He is 1 for 4 today. He had a double in the second, and then he's gotten out the last 3 times. So here's a chance for him to bring it within 1 if he can get a hit. He is going to hit a fly ball to left field to end the inning with runners on second and third. Man, there are a lot of hits going on in this game. 16 hits for them, 14 hits for us. As we enter the 9th, Wilmot is up. He's going to hit a ground ball to short to Klingman. Klingman's going to have to make a play. He does not. It's going to be an error. That is our 4th error in the game. Fisher is now up. He's 2 for 4. They're going to try hit and run. And we get the double play. And so now Smith is up, and he's going to pop out the first. So that will end the inning. So we are now entering the bottom of the 9th. Klingman is up. He is 2 for 4. And he is going to hit a ground ball to the second. Nichols scoops that up and takes care of it. So now we got Wilson. He is 3 for 4 today. We could use another hit. Unfortunately, he's going to fly out the left field. That will make 2 away. And now comes up Coughlin, who is 0 for 4, though he does have an RBI. We got to let him try. And he is going to ground out. He gets the roll we want with the 2. Unfortunately, he gets the 7, which is the place where we didn't want it to land. And so that is going to end the game. Obviously, we lose. Minneapolis Millers, who are not gotten a lot of wins this year, they do get a win. So a 10-7 game. Taking a quick look at the box score. Obviously, when you give up 16 hits and 14 hits, pitchers are definitely not going to get, they are not going to get the player of the game. But you're going to have to give this somebody on the Miller side. My gut, it would have to be Wilmot. He went 3 for 5, had 2 runs scored, also had 2 RBIs. Harvey was also 3 for 5. He had 2 runs scored, but he only had 1 RBI. So we will give that to Wilmot in the game. So overall, a game that just got out of hand early, could never quite make the comeback that we wanted to. Eric does get his 13th win of the season. Gear collects his only his 5th loss. But Walt Wilmot had 3 hits and 2 RBIs, and Red Eric tossed a complete game as the Millers topped the Kansas City Blues by a score of 10-7 at Exposition Park. Minneapolis claimed the early lead in the first inning, scoring 5 runs on 6 hits. Minneapolis banged out 16 hits on the night. Eric got the victory, allowing 7 runs for the game. Dale Gear, 17-5, ended up with a loss. Minneapolis scored big, getting 10 runs off of him in 9 innings. So, good game. Obviously disappointed to see us losing, but very happy with it. But we're getting ready to continue and getting ready to move forward in the season. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining in.